Hello everybody and welcome back to the King Fox channel. My name is Matthew Conager and I'm building a Kitfox Model 7 STI. On the previous episode I talked about building a Kitfox, what kind of kits you can build, age limits associated with that, and any age limits associated with flying. So if you didn't see that episode, go ahead and go back and click on that episode before you come back and watch this one. On this episode I'm going to be talking about buying a Kitfox, particularly my kit, which I'm going to talk about the costs up until this point. The first thing you need to do before you buy a kit, obviously, is choose what you want. Now, I can't tell you what kind of airplane to go out and buy, just the same way I can't tell you what kind of chocolate you like or that you should go out and buy silk underwear because maybe you don't like chocolate and maybe silk underwear aren't for you. So those are things that you need to figure out before you get to this point. What are some things you can do to help you get to this point? Well, you could go out to your local FBO or fixed base operator. It's basically a place on the airport that probably sells fuel. They have some flight instructors and more than likely they'll give you a free ride. So you could, sometimes it could be 30 minutes long, 45 minutes, up to an hour. Mine in particular was probably 45 minutes long. It was extra cold outside, so we didn't go very long because the instructor's leg was freezing to the door. So that cut us short a little bit, but we came back and I pretty much knew that I really liked flying at that point. So if you go out and take a flight and you realize that you like flying, well then you can move on to the next step. The next step is going to be something like, do I want a tricycle gear airplane where the nose wheel is up front, or do I want a tail dragger where the tail wheel is in the back of the airplane? Do I want a high wing or a low wing? What's your visibility? Do I want to go fast or slow, high or low? Those are things that you need to figure out as you move along before you get to the buying of your kit. So after watching my first Trent Palmer video, I pretty much knew that that's the type of flying that I wanted to do. It was almost something that I had been doing with the Maul, my previous airplane. Therefore, I began visiting multiple websites, doing some internet shopping. And I was looking for everything from price to how you buy the kit, how it's put together. There's some out there that do a 2 weeks to taxi program where you basically put your money down up front, you go someplace and they help you put the airplane together, and then you do all the flight testing with them, you pick out your colors, they paint it, and you fly away. That was something that I was interested in at first, but moving on, I really liked the way the Kitfox was laid out as far as it comes down to purchasing the kit, because you can purchase the kit in 3 phases basically. Phase number 1 is going to be firewall backwards, so that's what I have right now. You're going to purchase the airframe, the wings, the landing gear, everything but the engine and the avionics and the propeller. Some other things that turned me on for the Kitfox were the big tires, foldable wings. That's very important for me because, as I talked about again in the previous episode, that opens up some new options for you when it comes to hangering or storing your airplane. You can technically fold the wings up, put it on a trailer, and pull it behind your vehicle back to your garage. You don't have to share hangar space or worry about somebody else damaging your airplane if they go and have to move your airplane out of the way. The other thing I really liked was that it was a tail dragger. So that led me to the Kitfox website, and once I got on there I was thinking to myself, how do I actually order the plane? Because their brochure that they have looks to me like you're actually supposed to cut it out with a pair of scissors and get your pen out and check the blocks on everything you want to buy and then add it up at the bottom and mail it off. I didn't have that option, so I just downloaded the PDF on my iPad and did a little editing on there. Filled it out, broke out the old handy dandy iPhone 12 Pro Max calculator, added everything up and came up with the bottom line, put that on there. I wrote my credit card number on there so I could put a $5,000 deposit down, which is the minimum that Kitfox requires, and I emailed it to the parts department. The next day I got an email back from Deborah McBean, and she basically wanted to confirm that that's what I wanted, and I said yes. Then I got a confirmation email saying that my kit was in the system and they would contact me when it was time to move forward. So due to the COVID economy, I basically didn't want to dump all my cash down on the airplane. I kind of wanted to wait and see how things were going to play out, so I was going to try to get some financing for the kit. As I got to looking into that, I contacted the bank I had used for my previous airplane, Pilot Bank, and they told me that we could go ahead and start the financing process, but I really wasn't ready at that point because I hadn't received any messages back from Kitfox, so I decided to wait. Later that year, I hit them up again, and they told me that they couldn't help me because the FAA had changed the rules stating that that they basically needed an engine serial number, and they could no longer write TBD in order to finance the firewall back kit. Thinking about that, I didn't really want to buy a $30,000, $40,000 kit and then throw a $30,000 or $40,000 engine on top of that just so that I could do some financing. So after selling the mall, I had some equity in the mall and I received some money back. That helped me really make my decision to go ahead and dump the cash down on the kit. So as of yesterday, I did a little bit more research on the EAA website. I found an area where it says Phase 1, purchasing the airframe kit materials is the builder's responsibility. FAA will not permit banks to secure this phase of the build. So I emailed them yesterday and asked for an explanation, and I received a message back today from the president of NAFCO, or the National Aircraft Finance Company, Kevin Buckland, and he responded with the following. Hi Matt, not really sure exactly when the change took place, but about 12 months ago or so. Sorry, can't help out with the build. I'll put a link below to the EAA's website where I found this information. So moving on to Phase 1 of the build, for me it was the firewall back. The cheapest airplane that I can see right now on Kitfox's website is the Super Sport, and it's starting at $34,995. Now in February of 2019, I paid $32,445 for my kit. Right now, the same kit goes for $39,995. So the difference is $7,550 just 19 months later, which equates to about $400 a month in an increase. So those of you out there who are thinking about waiting till next year, if you can afford to do it, or if you have the money to do it, I would recommend you do it now because nothing is getting any cheaper. I added $17,696 in options, and that included the quick build wing kit and the prefab kit. I also paid $150 for packing and handling, which everyone is going to pay, and I opted for the shipping cost because I was in South Dakota and I wasn't thinking that I could drive to Idaho or fly to Idaho, pack the thing up myself, and get it back to South Dakota in January in better shape than a professional trucking organization could do. The shippers that Kitfox uses they're hand selected. They're very careful, they were organized, and they were very friendly. And I'd like to thank Kitfox, Heather in particular, for staying late the night that my driver showed up. I think he showed up on a Sunday, and she stayed late so that he could pack things up and get on the road the following Monday morning. And I'll throw some pictures up here so you guys can see those from Heather. I put $5,000 on the credit card. You can do a maximum up to $7,500. At the time, I thought $5,000 was sufficient because it looked like it was going to be a year before I got the kit. And in between that time, I wired $10,000 3 times to Kitfox, an additional $2,500 on the credit card, which again maxed me out at the $7,500. Then I did a final wire for $13,341, and my upholstery was back ordered, so after I received the kit, probably in July or August, I paid another $1,550 for the upholstery. That totals everything up to $52,391 that I paid to Kitfox. That doesn't include what I paid to Amazon. So I didn't get the toolkit from Kitfox. I would recommend you just go ahead and do that. I was doing a lot of reading about people who put together their own Amazon orders, and I think in normal years that will work just fine, but with COVID, there were a lot of things out of stock, so I ended up spending much more by ordering through Amazon and waiting for things to come in or finding out that things were out of stock. The second part of the build is Phase 2, and that's going to be avionics for me. I think that's the most appropriate thing to do because avionics seems like if I've got the engine off, I can access the firewall. Avionics would be the next best thing to put in. So the choices that I have, again, they're not going to work for you. You're probably going to decide you want something different. I think you can customize your dash, so everybody's going to want to put in what they think is best for them. I'm going to get my instrument rating and my commercial rating in the Kitfox, so I'm going to put in some glass. And basically what I've chosen, I think, is going to run me about $41,000 right now for avionics. More than likely those prices have increased since I chose everything that I wanted last year, based off the price of the airplane going up as much as it has in the last 19 months. I'm certain that's the case. Phase 3 will be engine, propeller, cowling. The Firewall forward kit is $7,995, and the Rotax 915 IS, I was quoted $40,353. That's not including the propeller. So I want to say when I looked at a factory-built Kitfox in 2019, you could get one for about $129,000. Don't quote me on that. I just logged into the website the other day and looked, and I'm pretty sure they're close to $160,000. They only build about 6 a year, and there's a pretty good backlog for a factory-built Kitfox. So if that's something you want to do and you want to wait for it, then that's totally up to you. I didn't want to wait that long. I want to get back in the air, and I thought that I could build it faster than 6 years. So on the next episode, I'm going to talk about the receiving and inventorying of my kit, which I received in January of 2021. So stay tuned for the next episode, and if you haven't already done so, click the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you can get notifications when I put out the next video. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.